Wii! Woohoo!
Hello everybody, SlimKirby here, and welcome to my next Mario Kart playthrough. This is going to be a playthrough on Mario Kart Wii. This was released for the Nintendo Wii back in 2008, and it was the second biggest multiplayer game online for the Wii that year. Super Smash Bros. Brawl came out a few months before this game, and then this game came out, and yeah, 2008 was a big year for Nintendo, especially on the multiplayer front, from sure. For me personally, as much as I enjoyed Brawl, I actually had way more fun with this game. I played this game a lot with the old Blarg Pit and Crystal Star Studio communities, and just got a lot more mileage out of this game. Honestly, it helped that the multiplayer online servers were a lot better than they were for Brawl at that time, but still, I just found got a huge enjoyment out of this game, and I definitely got my money's worth for sure. It's been a long time since I've actually played this game, though. Back when I first got this game when it came out, I got really big into the time trials, and I was almost playing this game kind of competitively. But I was also playing it very casually for fun as well, so it wasn't a huge thing. I wasn't trying to be like the best Mario Kart Wii racer, but it was something I kind of got into for a while for sure. But yeah, like, really love this game. Honestly, this is probably one of my more favorite Mario Kart games, if not my most favorite, just because I have a lot of very fond memories with this game, and I just really love playing this game so much. But for this particular playthrough, I'm actually not going to start a new file like I normally would. I'm actually just going to be playing straight from my normal SlimKirby file. And the reason why I'm doing this is I was thinking about it. I was thinking, well, maybe I could still try to unlock stuff on a new file. But honestly, it just makes more sense to just play a file that has everything already. And, well, this is that file, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we're going to be playing straight on this old file of mine. Have everything unlocked pretty much. I don't think I actually have a 2-star file yet, though. Like, I think that's only a 1-star file. I don't know for sure. It might be 2 stars. It's not 3 stars. I know that for sure. But I'll talk about the relevance of that a little bit later. But here we have the main menu. You have single player, you have multiplayer, you have Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, which unfortunately, you cannot actually use this feature anymore. This is no longer a thing on Nintendo Wii or Nintendo DS. Once the Wii U and 3DS were established, Nintendo was like, you know, let's not support our old online servers anymore, which honestly is a shame because this game was so much fun to play online. Like, I got so many hours of enjoyment from playing this game online, and I think along with that, the Mario Kart channel isn't really available either. But I'll be talking about these things much later on, probably in the extra videos. For most of this project, though, I'm going to be sticking to single player. And in single player, we're probably going to be mostly sticking with the Grand Prix modes, as I normally do. And I'm probably going to handle this much like I did with Mario Kart DS. I'm only going to do 150cc in mirror mode. I'm not going to do 50cc and 100, because at that point, if I did all of these, I'd be playing all 8 cups 4 times. And it's just like, that kind of ruins like the relevancy of the playthrough, where it's just like, okay, let's do this track again, and let's do this track again. So yeah, it just makes sense, I think, to do the hardest difficulty, or at least in terms of like the fastest speed, and then the mirrored version of that speed. I think that makes sense, and that's exactly what I'm going to go with. And I also like this, that you can actually see like the different speeds in action here, where like you're moving really slowly on 50, you're moving a little faster on 100, and on 150 you're just zooming past everybody. You can also see that for 50cc and 100cc, you can only use karts and bikes. Now, after you unlock the feature, you can actually do karts and bikes on both of them. But when you initially start this game, yeah, you can only do 50cc with karts, and you can only do 100cc with bikes. But it's not going to be relevant anyway, because we're just going to go straight for karts and bikes with 150. Next we have the characters, and my god, there are a lot of characters in this game. There are 24 normal characters, and then you also have the option to use Mii's as well. So yeah, a lot of different characters you can play as. Now, a lot of them are basically kind of clone characters to an extent. You have like Baby Mario, Baby Luigi. You have the baby princesses as well. And then, of course, their normal counterparts. You have Toad and Toadette. You have 3 different members of the Kong family. Also, LOL Funky Kong is in this game. You have 3 different types of Bowsers. But still, like, this was really cool back in the day because you just had so many characters you could play as, and you could also play as your Mii's too, which I really liked that about this game. I thought it was a really cool feature of it. So I'm not going to be able to play as all these characters, so what I think I'm going to do is like each cup will basically be split up into pairs, so the first pair will be Mario and Luigi. So I'll pick one of these characters, then for the next cup I'll pick one of these 2 characters, and then so forth until we get to the end. I think that's probably how I'll handle this. So I guess we'll start with these 2, and let's start with Baby Luigi. I kind of feel like starting with Baby Luigi here. And here are the next things we have to choose. We have to choose between carts and bikes. Personally, I prefer bikes over carts. That's just my own preference. But there are some cool carts here and there. I mean, hey, look. The Blue Falcon from F-Zero is in this game. The Blue Falcon. Definitely going to show this off. But to start off, you know what? Let's just go standard to start off with. I think that makes the most sense. So yeah, we'll start standard and we'll work our way up, I think. And then the next thing we have is we have to choose between automatic and manual. Personally, I prefer manual. You have more control over your turning, and you can actually do mini turbo boost, which you can't do with automatic, so that's what I'm going to do. Like Mario Kart DS, we have the Nitro and Retro system, where we have 4 cups of new tracks, then we have 4 cups of old tracks, and I think I'm going to also rearrange the videos in the same format, where I do 1 Nitro and 1 Retro cup per video. So let's go ahead and start with the Mushroom Cup. Sorry for the very lengthy introduction, but there was a lot of stuff I had to get through, so just wanted to make sure I cleared all that up beforehand. And we can now officially get this going. Welcome to Mario Kart Wii, everybody. Our first race we have is Luigi Circuit. Luigi Circuit is a very common first track, it seems like. It was the first track in Mario 64, or Mario Kart 64. It was the first track in Double Dash, and now it's also the first track in frickin' Mario Kart Wii. I don't know, I guess they kind of thought that, well, Luigi is the lesser known of the 2 brothers. He'll get the least interesting track to start with, I guess. And that's kind of why they decided to do that. So yeah, here we go, Mario Kart Wii. Man, there's a lot of things to discuss. I don't even know where to begin, so I'm just going to let things just try to fall naturally. I'll just kind of try to talk about things as they come up and mention things if I think they're relevant. I think one thing I can mention right there is that you saw me do a double turbo boost right there. That is a feature that karts have that bikes don't. Now, because of that, bikes do actually have a unique feature that makes them pretty overpowered, honestly. But still, like, whenever bikes make the turbo boost turns, they can only get the blue boost, but the karts can get the more powerful red boost, so that is one thing you should keep in mind when picking between karts and bikes. I'll talk about the bike advantage later when we're actually using a bike, but since it's not relevant now, I won't worry about it. Also, that happened at a really nice time. That way I don't have to use my red shell, and I can actually keep it for this last turn if I need to. And, of course, I get blue shelled at the very end, and lightning bolted at the very end of the first race. That's just mean. Can I at least pass Mario here? Yes! Take that. I actually used a technique called drafting to actually get second place right there. Where if you follow someone very closely, and I mean down to a T, like if you stay straight behind them for a few seconds, you can get a draft, which will allow you to get a nice little speed boost that you can use to pass them. It's a cool little technique that actually can help out in tight little pinches right like that. So here we are, going to move on to our second track. We have Moo Moo Meadows. This track actually made a comeback in Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's a pretty cool track, very standard. It gives kind of a Moo Moo Farms kind of vibe, but really only because it's on a farm and there's cows and stuff. Still though, it is cool that they kind of kept the farm thing going on for a little bit, I guess. Okay, one thing I actually did right there on that jump was I actually performed a trick. Now, depending on your control scheme, since there are 2 control schemes in this game, you can activate it if you're using the controller. You can activate it by pressing any of the directional buttons, like the directional pad. But if you're using motion controls or the Wii wheel, you have to actually shake the controller to actually get the use out of that, so keep that in mind. You can pretty much do a trick off of any jump. Well, any jump, like not the normal hop that I'm doing right there, but like any ramp or any jump that'll make you go up like a little bit is when you can usually perform a trick. They're very helpful because they can actually give you a little boost of speed. And there's other advantages of tricks that I'll go about a little bit later. But yeah, like like I pretty much mentioned, I'm using a controller right now. I actually cannot find my Wii wheel. I do have a Wii wheel from when this game first came out, but I have no idea where it is. If I can find it, I'll try to use it for one of the cups, but I don't know where it is. I really, really don't, which is kind of a shame because that was such a big thing about this game when this game first came out. The fact you could use this little steering wheel peripheral that came with the game. So yeah, that was another cool thing about this game anyway. And if it wasn't obvious, Luigi Circuit, the first track we played, has not come back in a Mario Kart game. That is why I didn't mention it. And here we have another really cool track. We have Mushroom Gorge. This track did come back in Mario Kart 7, the 3DS game, so a lot of people love this track enough for it to be in the next game, the next Mario Kart, so I can see why. This track is definitely kind of cool the first few times you play it. I think over time you don't really like this track as much, but still though, it's kind of a really cool atmosphere. I remember thinking when I first played this game, the bouncing mushrooms were actually really, really cool. So yeah, that's pretty much Mushroom Gorge. Mushroom Gorge in a nutshell, I guess. You go, baby Luigi. You bounce off that mushroom. Okay. Next up, we have lap number 2. I remember when I was doing time trials, there was like a really, really, really huge shortcut to this level, where basically at the very beginning, it's like after that first turn that you see on the little map there, like you turn around, you bounce off of something, probably a mushroom because Brawl, Mushroom Gorge, and like you'd go over the mountainside, and you'd actually be on the other side of the finish line, and then you just cross the finish line and it'd count as one lap. It was very tricky to set up, like you really had to kind of make sure everything worked out for you before you did it. But if you got it to actually work properly, my god, you get like a huge lap bonus. And that's how a lot of people actually got the best score in this level. But again, it's really hard to set up, and in time trials you get 3 mushrooms to kind of start out with anyway, so you kind of have that working for you as well. Can't really do that in Grand Prix because you have to actually get the mushrooms first. But still though, I always found that to be an interesting shortcut. And I think I'll probably end up winning this race too. I'm actually doing like a lot better than I thought I would. For one, like I said, I only really use bikes in this game, so doing this well with a kart is actually kind of surprising me. And also just the fact that I haven't played this game in a very long time. Last time I played this game was actually when Nintendo Wi-Fi was closing down. OdinSpac 33 had like a farewell to Wi-Fi stream event where we played through a bunch of old Wii online games, and that was the last time I played this, so it's been like 2 years by this point at least. Maybe even 3 years now. But here we go, the last track of the Mushroom Cup. We have Toad's Factory. I love this track. Why has this track never come back in a Mario Kart game? I don't understand. This track is so freaking cool. I love it. I love the music. I love the atmosphere. I love all the different obstacles. It's just a really fun track. The only thing I don't really like about the track is the ending here coming up. Not really this, but after this part. Because you can get screwed over very easily, especially in versus races. But still, like, this track looks so freaking cool. Why hasn't this track come back? Seriously, it's a really good track. Toad's Factory for Mario Kart 9. Let's go ahead and say that right now. But yeah, right there you can really get screwed over, especially if you get like hit with a shell or lightning at a very bad point. Because then you'll be on mud and then you'll be like forced to slow down, which is never a good thing. I always leave a banana right there. So if anyone decides to go on that little speed boost section, they'll be harmed for it. We'll just say that much. So actually, got kind of lucky right there. Oh, that was a really bad place to actually get hit right there. Thankfully, it's only the second lap, but still. But yeah, like I got hit by an item, and then I got knocked over to the backwards moving conveyor belt, so that really slowed me down pretty big. That also kind of slowed me down, but it seems like first place was only right there, so I think I'll be able to get a good ranking on this regardless. Here's that banana peel. Of course, the AI aren't taking that conveyor belt, so I guess that was more of a trap for human players, not really for computer players. That was definitely something I did on Wi-Fi a lot. Put a banana right after that crusher, so if anyone did take that shortcut, they'd either be distracted trying to avoid it, or they'd just get hit by it straight up. Oh, there's another item we have to talk about. There's a couple of items that do get introduced in this game that I haven't really mentioned yet. That's not good. I think I'll still... Whoa! What the hell was that? Fourth place should be enough to get, yeah, that should be enough to get first overall. Yep, okay, we're good. But yeah, I'll talk about those items a little bit later then, I guess, because we have our first gold trophy that we're obtaining. I'm going to show this little cutscene once, and then probably not show it again, because it takes up time, and we want to use as much time as possible. Yeah, you go, baby Luigi. It's probably not safe to be doing that while you're operating a vehicle, but what do you know? You're like, what, 2 years old? Probably not even that old. It's really your parents' fault for putting you in a vehicle at that age anyway, so... Literally, he's doing nothing wrong. Just following his little kid instincts. So yes, overall we got a rank of A. Every time you finish a cup, much like the past few Mario Kart games, you get a ranking based on how well you did. And the rankings go from worst to best, E, D, C, B, A, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. So I got an A rank, which honestly is pretty good, but it's not the best ranking. You can get a star ranking, which basically in order to get the star rankings, you pretty much have to be perfect on a lot of different things. And when I say a lot of different things, I mean you have to get first on every race, you have to have a good time on every race, and I think you, like, in just normal tracks, like, you want to avoid, like, falling off the track or going off-road too much, stuff like that. So that's pretty much how you get the 3-star rankings, is just being good, almost like too good, which in this game can be really difficult because of like all the items and stuff you have to deal with. But getting 3 stars is possible. I have gotten it for a lot of the cups in this game, but I think I still only have like a 2 or 1 star ranking on my file. Again, I don't know for sure. I'll have to look that up at some point. I can't check online anymore, though, because, again, can't use Wi-Fi, lol, 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 but still. But yeah, like Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart Double Dash, I'm going to try and do 2 cups for video, so, yeah, this will be a pretty long video. And I guess here we'll use... I don't want to, but I'll go ahead and use frickin' Baby Peach just to, silence all of the "you hate Peach, play her more" people out there. Besides, Peach is honestly not a bad character in Mario Kart. I've never had a problem with Peach in Mario Kart. So now we gotta choose a bike. I could choose the standard bike, but there's a couple of different bikes I really like in this game. I might come back to the light characters at some point and play as like one of these, but I think I'll use... yeah, I'll go ahead and use the standard bike just to kind of get the basic bike controls out of the way. And yes, we're going to go to the first Retro Cup, which is the Shell Cup. So we'll see a lot of old tracks from past Mario Kart playthroughs. Starting with, from Mario Kart Double Dash, we have Peach Beach. Peach Beach is a pretty basic track. Nothing too really, nothing too difficult here. Pretty self-explanatory. Very short, pretty basic obstacles. Really nothing to worry about, honestly. So yeah, bikes. Bikes in comparison to karts. As you can see, I could only get a blue boost from that turn. I couldn't get a red boost. That is because bikes are unable to get that red boost. However, there is one very awesome thing that bikes can do. Let me get to the straightaway really quickly after I get hit by a banana. Wheelies. Bikes can actually do wheelies. You can't really see it that much, but if you basically press the trick button when you're on a straightaway and moving straight forward, you will gain a slight burst of speed. This is why I think that bikes are the way to go when it comes to time trials and just moving fast in general, because there's a lot more straightaways on these tracks than you think they would be. So, honestly, and because of that, I feel like you get more out of wheelies than you do the red speed boost, at least in my opinion. Whoa! I almost got frickin' knocked over that hedge. Jeez. And I thought I was making some good ground, too, but now I have a lot more ground to cover on just this last lap. Having these mushrooms will be nice, but still have a lot more ground to cover. And missing those item boxes is not going to help me. Of course, that red shell aims for me. Wow, everybody is like right here. Man, I got screwed so hard in that race. Like, everybody, like... There was, like, not a 5-second difference, almost a 4-second difference between 1st and 12th place. That's how close that freaking race was. Because, like, literally everybody was right there. My god, that's gonna make the rest of this cup actually pretty hard. And of course, after I was saying, like, bikes are so much better than karts, here I am, like, already struggling to be first place in this cup because of that last race. Now, I swear, bikes are really, really good. I think if you talk to anyone who played this game a lot, they'd say that, like, just from, like, fighting or racing a lot of people online, they'd say that, wow, everybody uses bikes in this game. And, like, I know there's a lot of people who said that, oh, Mario Kart Wii, if you want to be good in that game, just use a bike. And, I mean, it's kind of true, honestly. That's how I really, got good with time trials, is just by using bikes. But yeah, definitely use wheelies as much as you can. Wheelies, and also use very, very tight turn boosts as well. Do all that and you can actually make a lot of ground. You can cover a lot of ground in just a very short period of time. Like right there, that was actually a pretty good turn right there. So yeah, this is Yoshi Falls. This is from the DS version of Mario Kart. Pretty cool track. They brought this back, but they never brought frickin' Toad's Factory back, which I still still don't get that. Toad's Factory is such a cool track. Why would they not want people to race on it? It's so damn good. Sorry, I'm just a huge fan of Toad's Factory. So I'll probably be ranting about that throughout the playthrough. Don't mind me, I just know what I like. That's all that matters. So from the Super Nintendo version, Super Mario Kart, we have Ghost Valley 2. I think this is the first and only time they've brought back a Ghost Valley track. It's a pretty cool track too, not gonna lie. Come on, let me freaking use my items. I think you have to be very, very quick with like blocking red shells and stuff like that in this game. In other games, I think that they move a little slower, so you have more time to react. In this game, not so much. You really have to be like almost a trigger finger to actually block items. But back in the day, like I was so used to that it didn't really seem like a big deal. Okay, there's that frickin' thundercloud again. Okay, I don't want to touch you though. Thundercloud is one of those items that can be good, but can also be very bad too. Wow, I'm in last place after that. This is going to be another one of those races where everyone is like right there. I don't like that. Baby Daisy fell off the track somehow. I don't know how that happened. Okay, here we go. This is where I make my comeback. Hell yeah, this is where I make my comeback. Just have to... Wow! From 12th to 1st in a single lap. Damn. I really wanted that first place. I'm glad I got it, too. But yeah, I'll go ahead and talk about the Thundercloud since we've seen it a few times. Yeah, the Thundercloud is a good and bad item. Whenever you get it, you move really, really fast. So it's good because of that. You can get a lot of speed with it. However, after a small period of time, it'll actually shrink you like a lightning bolt will do. So what you want to do to avoid that is you want to use the speed boost for as long as you can, and then pass it off to another player by just touching them. If you touch someone with a Thundercloud, they will get the Thundercloud instead. They'll get that speed boost for a short period of time, but if they keep it, they'll actually get... they'll get shrunk instead, so it's kind of like hot potato in a lot of respects. It's like you have an item, you want to get rid of it, but you also kind of want to use it too. A very strategic Mario Kart item, I guess you could say. Here's another new item. This is the POW block. Whenever you use a POW block, everybody in front of you will basically spin out. The thing is if you know what you're doing, if you time it just right, you can actually block a POW block. Well, I'm just getting all the items, like all the new items. But yeah, like if you hit the trick button at just the right time, you can actually avoid a POW block. I'll probably show that throughout the playthrough because I plan on being in first place a lot, which means I'll probably get POW blocked a lot. And that other item I just got, that was the Mega Mushroom. It's kind of like the combination of a Starman and a Mushroom, where you get like a nice boost of speed for a while. I don't think you're immune, like you're not immune to certain items though, like you would be with the Starman. And I think it's also a lot shorter too, but you get like a nice boost of speed, you can hurt people, run them over while you're Mega Mushroom size. It's really just another speed item, honestly. It's mostly a speed item. But it has its offensive capabilities too. Of course, I'm going to get blue shelled. But I'm pretty far ahead, so I think I'm going to get first regardless. Also, Mario Raceway from N64. Mario Kart 64. Honestly, I was never much of a fan of this track in Mario Kart 64, and I don't think I'm really a fan of it here either. I don't know. I guess I just kind of like the simple nature of Luigi Raceway a little more, and then I also loved Royal Raceway for being just a really epic track in general. kind of how I feel about him. So yeah, there we go. Despite that very first 6th place. Was it 6th or was it 7th? I think we'll find out. Regardless, it was a very bad start to begin with. Oh, I guess you won't find out. But yeah, like after that very bad start, just getting first place on the next 3 races still got me a first overall, so... Thankfully, Peach Beach didn't screw me over so much, but still, that was a very, very, very unfortunate race. And with that, I think we're actually going to stop. This has been a very long video, but thankfully I think there was a lot of gameplay. Honestly, before I recorded this, I tried another recording session of this, and the first video was almost 40 minutes because I was explaining so much, so I tried to explain not as much as I did in this session, and I think that's a good thing. This was actually some really informative and entertaining gameplay, I think, so hope you guys enjoyed the first video. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next 2 cups, which will be Flower Cup and Banana Cup. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy this playthrough. This has been SlimKirby. I'll see you guys next time. Later, folks.